Picket lines could be in place at the college tomorrow. Good evening, I'm Haley Perot. Thank you for joining us. Full-time support staff at Confederation College and other colleges across Ontario are set to go on strike tomorrow morning. OPSU officials say although a walkout is not what they want to do, they feel it's necessary to fight for the future of the college. This afternoon, around 60 union members participated in a practice picket line in front of the college's Golf Links Road entrance. The union says Ontario colleges are greatly underfunded, with less than 25% of their funding coming from the province. Around 10,000 support staff province-wide could walk off the job as early as tomorrow morning. The local OPSU president, Owen Smith, represents 180 support staff at Confederation campuses across the Northwest, including around 160 employees in Thunder Bay.
Doug Firecon likes his private training institutes. We don't want that. We believe it should be public. We are here for the future. Honestly, I'm fighting with the college. I've been around for 50 years. I want them around for another 50 years. I have a 24-year-old coworker. I am concerned for her future. Me, I am not. I am concerned for myself. I can retire in 3 to 5 years, but I'm fighting for the future. I want all of us to have good jobs, and I want the students to have excellent support staff that are there for them. We are here for them. We don't want to go on strike. We're willing to talk, but College Employer Council is not being nice. Let's put it that way.
No one from Confederation College was available for an interview today, but in a post on social media, the college says all classes will continue as their instructors are not part of the strike action. However, some other areas like student services, admissions, IT, financial aid, and maintenance could be slower or limited. Thunder Bay City Council tried out its new governance system yesterday evening, holding its first standing committee meeting at City Hall. Just 4 councillors and the mayor sit on the Financial and Administration Committee, which then makes recommendations to the full council at a future meeting. Jessica Clement has the details.
Tuesday's Finance and Administration Standing Committee meeting was the first since the implementation of a new governance bylaw and saw only 5 members of council, Mayor Kim Boshkoff, and councillors Mark Bentz, Albert Aiello, Michael Zucino, and Brian Hamilton. Bentz, who chairs the Finance Standing Committee, thinks this first meeting went well.
It's short and sweet and good input from the committee members, and I think this feeds into City Council, also feeds into future decisions of our administration. So it's a good way to get input and to vet these items.
Council meetings will now happen every other week, with the standing committee meetings taking place on the weeks in between. In total, there are 3 standing committees, with the other 2 being growth and quality of life. Each committee is made up of 5 members, 4 councillors, and the mayor.
I think that it's a great opportunity for the city to see, residents to see a smaller group of city council considering providing input prior to items coming forward to city council for approval, and help to streamline and understand the decision making of local government.
This new system also sees the implementation of a 5-minute time limit for each councillor on every round of questions. Bentz says this process is better than the previous one.
We used to have 3 questions per round, and they could take 1 minute or could take 10 minutes. Now you can have as many questions as you'd like, but 5 minutes maximum. So I think the conversation will be more coherent because you won't get cut off at your 4th question. And if you happen to use up your 5 minutes to ask 7 questions, well, that's probably all you're going to need, right? That's a lot of conversation on one item.
City Clerk Krista Power notes that time limit also includes administration's answers.
So we as administration do need to make sure that we are tight and succinct in providing our responses as well. So where members do want to dive deep on a topic, we're going to encourage them to reach out to a member of administration in advance of the meeting, get their 15 or 20 questions answered, and then be able to focus the ones that they want to highlight at the meeting.
Next Tuesday will be a City Council meeting. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
During last night's meeting, Finance and Administration Committee members got an overview of the city's current debt strategy. The policy was created back in 2014, and over the next few months, city staff will begin to update the strategy as part of the city's long-term financial plan. The presentation notes the city's total outstanding debt is $155.6 million, with an annual debt servicing cost of just under $26 million. Compared to other cities in Ontario, Thunder Bay's outstanding debt per capita is the 5th highest. However, when TBT is excluded, the city's rank is closer to average. City Treasurer Carrie Greaves says administration needs to determine whether they're going to maintain the current debt level, get more aggressive and expand their borrowing process, or show more restraint and reduce.
The reality is that our capital deficit is high enough that a reduction in borrowing isn't really practical, because that really would just further increase that deficit, and we want to go the other way. So we're going to do the calculations, do some scenario planning, and present that to the Standing Committee of Finance and Admin at a later date, and then eventually bring that to City Council for approval.
The Ontario government has announced an investment of almost $62 million for a street rehabilitation project in Greenstone. The money will allow Main Street in Geraldton to be completely redone to help prepare it for heavy use by the planned development of the Ring of Fire mining area. Planned since last fall, the province calls the road a critical infrastructure project that will be the gateway to the Ring of Fire. The project will connect Highway 11 at the south end to Highway 584 at the north, and will be the first segment on the planned road network to the remote mining area. Indigenous Affairs Minister Greg Rickford made the announcement in Toronto today. He says the project will bring benefits to the province, Greenstone, and the First Nations in that area.
The fact of the matter is that these roads are essential for winter road access for the isolated communities. These are roads that bring in supplies and materials for the next year's build. And because of the effects of climate change, no question about it, those winter roads have gone from 4 to 6 weeks back in my time when I was working as a young man and a nurse in those communities to as little as a couple of weeks.
Officials with NOMA are expressing excitement and support of today's announcement. Thunder Bay's annual mining expo is back for its 4th year, and organizers say it's bigger than ever. Sencan has grown so much, it's filled the Fort William Gardens, the curling club, and spilled into the outdoor space. Justin Hardy has more.
Sencan is the biggest mining showcase in northwestern Ontario. That makes it a key stop for suppliers who can meet clients from remote mine sites across the region during the 2-day event. Canadian TradeX president Glenn Dreadhart says it's amazing to see how much the event has grown.
We started with 200 displays and we're up to 300 displays 2 years later. So it's a constant grow. We've expanded our outdoor space, our footprint outside, and it looks like next year we'll have to do it again.
Featuring the companies behind some of the biggest mining projects in the region and the smaller companies that work alongside them, the show was filled with plenty of opportunities to experience what working in various industries is like, as well as demonstrations of new technologies. Dreadhart says the expo is the place to get new products in front of major projects.
For a salesman to come in here that sells a product, to have them be able to meet all their clients in 2 days is like, it's a gem. It's a gem to them. They rely on it. They get to rely on it every year. So what happens is there's a lot of spin-off meetings. There's different anniversaries that take place from companies. They like to host it around the same time.
Beyond the salespeople and mining companies, the expo also brings major economic benefits for the city. From selling out nearly every hotel room in town to the many opportunities for residents to find employment with many of these companies. Mayor Ken Boshkoff says he's happy to see Sencan come back year after year.
It's like any event that gets national and international recognition. It creates its own energy. And the fact that this has now become so popular, but also so valuable to so many people, I do believe the entire community realizes now that mining is the future for our community.
Sencan continues on Thursday from 10 to 3 p.m. Justin Hardy, TBT News.
Hundreds of firefighters from across the north have traveled to Thunder Bay this week to take part in critical fire and rescue training activities. It's all part of the annual Firecon event. It's a 5-day gathering for participants to learn new skills and then take them home to train others in their communities. Jaden Billick has more.
Firecon is back in Thunder Bay this week, bringing firefighters from across northwestern Ontario together for specialized training. The annual event features theory-related and hands-on activities such as vehicle extrication. Atikokan Fire Chief and the lead instructor for the 1006 Common Passenger Program, Grant Warburton, explains what's happening here at Gary's Towing.
Yeah, today they're removing doors, driver door first. That's a very common area that we'd find somebody trapped. And then they'll work to the other sides, the passenger and the rear doors. And then later on today, we'll be doing roof removal. Yeah, standardized training is crucial within the fire service. One, because of mutual aid. If you have one fire service meeting another fire service to work on a larger incident, to have standardized training, understanding exactly how to remove patients is a key role.
Firefighters are practicing with the jaws of life, cutting and peeling back doors to reach trapped passengers. Instructors like Training Officer Devin Knoll with the Dryden Fire Service are guiding them step by step, from stabilizing the car to removing glass and metal, all to stay within what they call the golden hour of time it takes to get from the scene to a medical professional.
My crew's doing amazing. They're just taking a break right now. It's actually a pretty cool day. So we just finished doing a door removal on a passenger vehicle, wheel resting, and they did fantastic. A lot of them learning new skills. We have some experience and some new people, so everyone's having a good time. They're learning new things today.
Well, as a student here, just like all the other firefighters, we're here to learn the techniques for safety for us and also patients to be able to get them out and to EMS so that they can get the care they need. What we're able to bring back to our communities is this training and also the knowledge and the networking that we've had with the other communities, those that will be supporting us.
Firecon continues until Friday at various locations. Jaden Billick, TBT News.
Always great to see so many important skills learned there. We'll turn now to you, Fiona, for the weather. And my goodness, it was foggy this morning. I could even hear ships using their foghorns earlier today.
It would not surprise me. Just blanketed the city. I believe you had mentioned fog patches last night.
That's what I was told.
There was a whole lot more than patches going on out there. We did see Mother Nature come through in the end with some sunshine. Now, some areas got a little bit more than others, and it all depends on the direction of the wind. Now, we had an overnight low of 9, a high of 18, but it was the wind that was moving around. It started the first half of the day from the northwest, almost completely calm, but what little wind we had was coming from the northwest. In the afternoon, it rotated around and started to come in from the east, and that helped to move the fog out of some areas of the city. Others were still probably somewhat locked in, or at least very, very hazy. Winds were up to 17 kilometers per hour this afternoon. Everywhere else in the region, though, had a pretty good day, all in all. To the west, much warmer than us, with temperatures topping out at anywhere from 23 in Red Lake to 25 in Fort Frances. But to the west, you also had the benefit of the Humidex making it feel a good 2 to 3 degrees warmer, and that was all with lots of sunshine. It's only been in the past couple of hours that Red Lake has become partly cloudy. Further eastward, north of Lake Superior, we are looking at a fair amount of sunshine. It was a cloudy start in Armstrong in the early morning hours, and Greenstone didn't start to see the sun come out until about noon, but both are sitting at their daytime highs, which are actually a couple degrees above normal for this time of year for these areas, despite not having any Humidex really to lean on to get that warm up. Along the northeast shores, we're at 17 in Wawa, 16 in Wawa, 17 in Marathon. Sault Ste. Marie currently at their daytime high. It was mostly cloudy for most of the day. Now here in the city of Thunder Bay, we're going to stick with double digits, a low of 10. It will be mostly cloudy, and once again, we are looking at a risk of fog patches. If Mother Nature decides to play a game on us again, it could be a little bit more than just a few patches for the overnight hours and into tomorrow, but the clouds are definitely expected to be a little bit more dominant over the next 24 hours, and I'll have more details on what that could turn into for the weekend. That's later on in the news hour.
Thank you, Fiona. You know, we never say how big the patches will be. Very
exactly.
large patches.
And you know, you patch enough together, you get a quilt.
Boom, there
Boom,
it is,
there
a
it is.
blanket of fog. Well, thank you, Fiona.